Hello everybody, how y'all doing? Hope you're doing well. Yeah, this Lionsgate, it's been pretty intense, to say the least. Um, I'm, yeah, I'm really at a loss. Um, but it's more of an optimistic loss. I know it didn't sound like it yesterday, because it was the opposite. Now, it's been a reversal. Um, had something happen yesterday. Well, like I mentioned in yesterday's video, I've been getting quite a bit of, well, I've been getting not quite a bit, but a little bit of premonitions here and there. And yesterday, I was getting quite a few, and especially last night. I was in the process of cooking dinner, and with my premonitions, they're usually like little insignificant events that pop up. I I don't know how else to explain them. Little things that see happen. It's like I said, it's insignificant crap. I'll just see something or whatever, like or do something like turn on a water faucet or some shit. And I know that I had basically dreamt about it before. I hate using the word dream because they come to me in my dreams, the future events, but I don't remember them until they start happening, okay? With actually having that experience or seeing that experience until it starts happening. And I've had this my whole life. And it's just been more in recent years that I've come to accept and my gifts, abilities, whatever you want to call it. And basically accept them as part of my existence, part of my life. Anyway, I had a big one happen while I was cooking dinner. And I was just saying, gosh, because I had one happen, and I'm like, damn, another premonition. I've been getting them. I haven't said it out loud, and I was more frustrated than anything, and because I'm just like, what is it? You know, what is, because they, like I said, they lead up to a big event, and then it was like I had one, and I had another one right afterwards. I mean, just like within a few seconds. And it was just like, what the hell? And then, bam, I had something pop into my head. And I've never had that happen before. Not like that. And it's like, and then watching today's message from MJ Cranmore over on Soulful Revolution, her YouTube channel. The Saturday readings are the ones where it's for what you don't see coming, basically, and it's where she does like mini readings for each of the zodiac signs, going around the zodiac, starting with the sign of whatever season we're in right now. So like right now we're in Leo season, so she started with Leo, and she goes around, and then at the very end she does a general reading for everyone. And each of them were really hitting me hard with something, partly with something that has been going through my mind that I've been him-hawing about. I haven't wanted to do. I've experimented with doing it in the past. I got so disgusted with it, I wound up putting it aside, and then when I left Vegas, I wound up throwing it all in the trash even. And now here I sit facing it again. And not just that, but it was interesting because there was something that popped through my head. From something that happened quite a while ago when I was at my last job. Actually, it was a couple of things from a couple different experiences. Where basically I was attacked by my supervisors for standing my ground, for not being willing to cross over certain thresholds, because it went against my principles. Again, it went against things that I know. And I just absolutely wouldn't buckle. And the one incident actually came up in the one reading. I feel like as she said, and it was a reoccurring theme where those chapters are over. All of them. And now I'm being presented with other opportunities. And the question is, what do I want my future to look like? And I think that's what it boiled down to with yesterday, with what I was talking about, is with feeling like I'm at a loss. Yeah, at the time when I had the NDE, it was to take care of her, like I said in yesterday's video. But at the same point, I also know that most likely I'll probably outlive her in either way. Even if not, how do I want to spend my last years? I'm 50. I'm a late in life type 1 diabetic. How do I want that to look? Where is my happiness? Obviously, it wasn't where I was working before. I knew that. At the time, it was a means to an end. And at the same point, I know that with what I'm doing now isn't sustainable. And I knew it wouldn't be, even at that point. But where do I want the things to look? Do I want to go back down this road? It came up quite a bit, actually. A couple of times. I don't know. Keep looking at it in a way, thinking about it. I don't know. I really don't know. I think it's giving me things to think about. I think I think that's what it boils down to with this Lionsgate, is it's giving me a lot to think about. And that's what it boils down to. So, and especially with this full moon, so anyway, here I kind of sit contemplating things. In the meantime, I think it's one thing accomplished yesterday. Took a look at the pay stubs versus the taxes, and also the chart that they provide for the income limits and so forth, and we're good to go there. Made my decision as far as what sort of documentation, income documentation to submit to them. Got that off in the mail, and also completed the form to I'm talking about the health insurance, by the way, that I got approved for, and also to fill out the form to make my selection. Called the insurance company, found out the details about the plan and so forth, how much co-pays are, deductible, all that sort of good stuff. So, set ready to go there. It's just a matter of the sensors. I still have to go through. Still can't go through pharmacy. I have to go through some sort of, not mail order company, but medical supply company. That's the word I'm trying to think of, or term, excuse me. So, and they sent me the list for me to contact, which I'm going to have to see about doing next week. At least possibly get things situated, settled. So, because my sensors are actually going to be due September 2nd, because I've worked that out. And if I want to possibly have it ran through the insurance, I'm going to have to, yeah. So, I need to find out those details to see if whether or not that's going to be able to happen on the 2nd or not, because the insurance doesn't kick in until the 1st, of course. So, yeah, find out those details. I might have to shell out out of pocket one more time. Found out that my endocrinologist's office does accept the insurance, and it's the same network that also they have primary physicians as well. So I made an appointment for a primary so I can get that established, to get an annual physical, all that sort of stuff. So, yeah, we're good to go as far as that is concerned. Also made an appointment for the lab work to be done. Little Miss over there, she wasn't feeling all too great last night, and I noticed that her body temperature was elevated a little bit. Her pads are still a little bit warm, but she's definitely a lot better. And I noticed overnight that she had a little bit of an upset tummy. And so, but yeah. But all in all, I think she worked it out, whatever it was that was going on. So I think she's doing better. She's still active, and so forth. Been a little bit sleepy. We got some storms in last night, more like this morning at around 4, something like that. That was nice. It's been raining off and on, a little bit of thunder, lightning this morning as well. And I'm actually recording this just after 1. I started about 1:15. It's almost 1:30 now. So, but yeah, all in all, things have been good. Yeah, things have been really, really good. Loving my new calendar. I've been having a lot of fun with it. I can show you guys what, at least the one side. I did take a picture earlier this week, but yeah. I can kind of show you. Let's see if I can turn this around. As you can see, I've been having some fun a little bit there. Yep, filling things in and everything. Yeah. Yeah, the picture of it, the layout that I established early part of the week is over on the blog, so if you're interested in seeing that. Yeah. Excuse me. I've been having some fun. So, and I went ahead and took care of September as far as the dating is concerned because of the doctor's appointments. And so I can input, those dates that are needed and everything. So, anywho, yeah, that's kind of where I'm at right now with things. I've just got a lot of things to think about. A lot to think about. And I'll work it out one way or another. That's the way I'm looking at it. So, anywho, but yeah, that was another thing that was really coming out from in her messages this morning are endings. And that's the thing too, maybe how I was doing things before. I know one chapter is definitely closed. I just have to work through it myself. But yeah, this is about, that chapter 2 is closed. And it gives me something to think about, basically as far as the chapter with Vegas is concerned. Yeah, I have seriously considered going back, but I know there's nothing there for me except for my stuff. And it'll probably come up again. I know that. As I work through all of those issues and everything, it'll probably come up again. But, I know where I'm going. More or less. But I guess in a way, too, with the little thing that crossed my mind this morning, it made me think about things out there, too. I have more opportunities here, and I know that. A little bit more. It was so weird with the one reading. I think it was the Scorpio reading. Yeah, it was. It was a Scorpio reading. My gosh. It just, that one, it was like she was telling my life story there. That was just weird. And how, with what she was describing, and with my last job, and then leaving it, and because she was saying it either will happen or already has happened. She was kind of getting that, and she was saying that either going to be, yeah, that was brought up again too, Italy. How she was saying with either going to be leaving or have already left, basically going back home, even though this is where I started. Michigan isn't that far, having to cross land, water, possibly going back home. There was talk about resistance, something wanting to do, possibly whole life or whatever. There is something, a couple of things, but one thing and really that I haven't talked about, that I'm hawing around about. It was just everything. It was just weird with what she was talking about. So, anyway, yeah. Like I said, there's a lot that came out with the readings this morning. Definitely closing of chapters. And I will say that this experience that I'm having with the health insurance is so different than what I went through out there. So different. Making the same amount of money and everything. And, oh, excuse me, I qualify for something so much better than what I was even going to be getting out there. With no premium. And out there I was going to have to pay a premium, dealing with deductibles, jumping through tons of hoops in order to even just get my sensors approved, if they'd be approved, all this sort of stuff. Right. The only thing I've got to get a pre-auth on is my one insulin, which I don't see a problem with. So, yeah, lots of that's definitely a sign of improvement. I will say there's been improvements. I know that there has. I know I kept being drawn back to 2 years, and I understand. I understand why. There was things from 2 years ago. Things really did start getting really bad as far as my breathing difficulties were concerned. A lot of issues with there. There were reminders of that. There's the reminders of the homestead that I had found in Northern California that I really fell in love with. There's reminders of course, that's when I became a diabetic, was 2 years ago. Quite a few things. So, yeah. I think I have quite a few things to think about. And really, a lot of opportunities. Not just here. But I could go anywhere. Do anything. And I think that's what this Lionsgate has been about. Help me to see how much I've grown, how much I've changed, how much better I am, in all aspects. And I'm being shown all these opportunities that I could pursue. Question is, what do I want to do? A lot to think about. So, and I think it helps because at the time, 2 years ago, I was looking at things, with the things that I am being shown now. I was looking at them from a standpoint of stress, distress, depression, trying to find hope through everything that I was going through, trying to do things from an unstable standpoint. And now I'm able to look at things through a different lens. From a very stable lens. A lot stabler than what I was 2 years ago. Or even a year ago. Shoot. We don't even want to think about it a year ago. But from 2 years ago. Before shit hit the fan. So, anyway, that's what I got. It's a good feeling. Very good feeling. Now, of course, the big question is, what do I want to do with it? I like this feeling, though. All right. I love you guys. Talk to y'all soon. Hope it helps you.